Before this video starts, I want to let you know that I made a Patreon. The first 3 tiers are for any age, and the last 2 are for 18 and older, so be wary of that. Do not feel obligated to donate. You watching this video is already more than enough support. So Wolfie True recently made a video about how she believed she was a cat. It major triggered war flashbacks to the time I genuinely believed I was a werewolf. And no, I know this doesn't do well for the I'm not a furry case. So when I was like 10, I was really into mythical creatures. There was this subscription service called Weird and Wild Creatures where they would deliver you cards each month about different creatures that, you guessed it, were weird and wild. They gave a few cards each month about mythical creatures, and I always read them immediately, ignoring the cards based in reality that would actually give me useful information about the world. Nope, I wanted to live in a fantasy land. I suppose it's relevant to mention that as a child, I was strangely obsessed with death. I remember one time me and my grandparents and my brother were playing a complete the story game, and whenever it was my turn, I would kill all the characters in the story. Okay, so Sarah and Jack are baking a magical cake for their pet unicorn. Cat, your turn! Sarah became relentlessly homicidal and took the kitchen knife and carved out Obviously, I was going through my weird edgy death phase at that age. I don't know what was wrong with me. So back to the Weird and Wild Creatures cards. We got this one card about werewolves, and I was so obsessed with it. I read it so many times, which led me to drawing werewolves all over everything. I just thought they were so cool. Fast forward to age 12 when I got my first phone and private access to the internet. I was still going through my 3 edgy 5 me phase, often drawing pictures of evil creatures and death. My mom actually confronted me about this because she was growing increasingly concerned for my sanity. Cat? That's it, I'm calling a psychiatrist. One day while on Google, I came across a community. A werewolf community. They were talking about things like shifting and full moons and just being a werewolf. I had this sudden shift in my brain and I thought, this is me! Then I found this weird werewolf ritual where you performed a chant at night that would supposedly turn you into a werewolf. I remember sitting in my bathroom performing the ritual aloud, raring to go because I was so excited to finally join my werewolf brethren. Yes, I am aware of how cringy that sounds. I was hyper aware of full moons. I would swear up and down that I would feel my fangs grow and that I was going to shift into werewolf form. Of course, I never did, but that did nothing to dissuade the delusion. I have friends that go, oh, I believed I was a werewolf too. No, you didn't believe it to the level that I believed it. I genuinely thought, no memes, that I was a werewolf, like it was breathing air to me. It was just a fact of life. I don't know how to convince you how genuinely delusional I was, because I swear to God, I believed with all my heart that I was a werewolf. I live on top of a cliff next to some woods and a lake, and I used to go outside at night to go do whatever werewolves do. Basically, I played in the woods at night. Spooky, I know. I don't really know what snapped me out of it. I guess I grew out of it or something. I look back at that time in my life and think it was a good meme because it's funny to talk about now. I know this story makes me look kinda weird, and you're right. It does. But I think we all have some dark, cringy pasts that we try to hide. Like one time in 4th grade, we had a class spelling bee, and in front of the entire grade, I misspelled the word beautiful. Well, Kat, that's not so bad. Yeah, except I started bawling my eyes out! I literally broke down sobbing and crying and screaming. I was always known as the smart kid, and I just knew people were gonna make fun of me for losing. Which they did! It was awful! I got made fun of that moment for literal years. Even talking about it now makes me feel weird. I guess there are just some things that you don't get over. So, that's pretty much it. I used to be an edgy crybaby werewolf. Ow!